Let's see how much of this I can get filmed before the Amazon package gets here. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit since we did a chat to get ready with me, and you know what? I just kind of want to have another bochinche chat rant. A slight, just kind of random rant about how I'm feeling just like super uninspired by new makeup and makeup trends recently. So why not talk about it, get ready, do the rest of my face. So I'm coming on here a little bit different because I already did my eyes, but I did film this for my last Pen That Palette update. I was feeling dramatic and I wanted to do something dramatic. So I used my Pen That Palette and I made this look. So I actually show how I did this look in the Pen That Palette update. So if you missed that, I will throw that up in the cards. So for this video, we can go ahead and do the rest of my face. I've got a ton of new base products, a couple of old favorites, and I'm just excited to kind of play, do something fun, different, and just have a little bit of a rant. So to kick us off, I've already done my brows. Let me show you what I did with my brows. So I mixed kind of a whole bunch of stuff together for my brows. I used a little bit of the ABH Brow Envy Brow Gel, and I love that it's black. It's like a really good, like, black color, matches my hair almost perfectly, but I hate how gigantic this spoolie is. The spoolie is so huge, it almost always makes a mess, so I really only use it on days like today when I'm doing my eyes first, and then I go in with my foundation later, because when I use this on, like, when I already have my foundation on, it just gets everywhere, so I have to clean up around my brows, but I do like the color, so I'm trying to figure out a way to make this work. I then went into the Glossier Boy Brow, which is just kind of like meh for me right now, but I do like it for getting the hairs kind of towards the beginning of my brow. Kosas one, this is actually kind of my favorite right now. This is the Air Brow, also in the shade Black. For me, this is kind of like the best parts of the Glossier and the AOA Studio, except the AOA Studio is just a little bit more of a blue-black. This is kind of more of a warm black, but it just applies nicely. I love the spoolie. It gives me the nice in the front. It gives me nice color payoff throughout. So those are the three I'm kind of reaching for, testing out, but I think out of them, my favorite is the Kosas. And then none of those actually give brow hold. They only tint my brow. So for hold, I just went in with this point perk that I got of the ABH Clear Brow Gel. For primer, I already went in. This is only my second time trying it, so I don't know what my full thoughts are going to be on it yet. But I have the KVD Lock It Pore Refining Primer. I use this just kind of like right here, a little bit right here, then a little bit on my chin. I then went in on my whole face and just used the Photo Finish Primer Water from Smashbox. Okay, and I think we are caught up. So let me start applying my foundation. And my current favorite foundation has been this KVD Good Apple Serum Foundation. It is so good. The only downside is that I suck at shade matching myself online. So I have two different shades that I just mixed together to make my own custom shade. So I have shade 8 and 18. They're very different. Shade 8 is like super light, super yellow. And then shade 18 is like very pinky and a little bit too dark. But if I mix them together, I get a nice shade. So I'm just going to mix these in the back of my hand, and, you know, I don't have, like, a solid, like, recipe for how I mix this to get it to match. It's kind of different every day, but I usually start off with, like, a couple of pumps of each equal, and then I mix it up, and then I see how it looks, and then I kind of move from there. So, like, today, that's looking a little dark, so I'm just going to go into a little bit more of the lighter shade and just kind of mix it in. It's still looking a little dark. On camera, it looks a lot better than in person. In person, it's looking a little dark. Then we'll just go with it, because I don't want to put too much product on my hand. So I'm going to apply this mostly gently, like, around my brows to kind of not mess them up, and then I can just blend it all out in a little bit. But yeah, so let's talk about, like, how I'm super uninspired. I have to say, this probably started, like, you know what, let's go back to right before we moved into this apartment. I did a no-buy. And when I was doing that no-buy, it's because we were literally saving up everything we could to save up for this apartment and all the expenses that we might have with moving and being fully on our own. Because before we moved here, Alvin and I, we both lived with family. He comes from a very kind of traditional Asian family. I come from a very large Hispanic family. And I had a lot of student loans. I could not live on my own after school up until now. So we were saving up, and because of that, I had to go, like, on a total no-buy for makeup. And at that time, I, like, unfollowed a lot of people and a lot of brands and a lot of, like, new makeup release type product or type Instagram thingies, also on Instagram. And I unfollowed people on YouTube that just did, like, reviews of new products. Alright, sorry, I just jumped in real quick to blend that out because I forgot it does dry down pretty fast. So it was drying down on my forehead, but I just blended it out real quick with the sponge, and I'm just going to take it a little bit further down my neck while we talk. So yeah, at the time, I unfollowed a lot of, like, people and, you know, anything that would tempt me on the no-buy. But thankfully, the no-buy only lasted a few months. We got this apartment. We were very comfortable. I ended up actually getting a raise at work not too long after. And we are very comfortable right now, which I'm very eternally grateful for. So after the no-buy was done and we had moved and we were kind of settled, I went back and I tried looking at, like, Trend Mood and, like, some of the other, like, hot makeup release radar and stuff. And I was just bored. I was so bored with, like, what new products are coming out. Well, back then it was like, what, early 2021, so I feel like not a whole lot of new products are coming out. I felt like we were still, like, in the supply chain kind of crisis that happened. It's still happening now, not as bad though. And I ultimately ended up really not following back those accounts or those people. Next, I'm going to go in with the Saie concealer. I've never tried this before, so this is my first time using it, so we're going to see how it looks. That's a very interesting kind of, it's not a dough foot, it's like a candy corn. So I didn't really go back and refollow those people that I unfollowed. And I realized, like, over time, I was just, like, super less informed about what was new in the beauty community, which didn't really bother me all that much because it didn't seem like a whole lot was happening. Anyway, long story short, it comes up to, like, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm realizing I have no idea what's new, what's coming out, but then I go out, and when I look for it, it's not, like, super inspiring. And I know half of this is on me. I need to do a better job of, like, searching out accounts that are a bit more inspiring to me, so that's part of this video, too. If you guys have any recommendations for new product release Instagram or YouTube channels that you really find inspiring, please leave them down below. I'm definitely looking for recommendations. But I was feeling just, like, a little bit melancholy because I don't want to call out channels by name because I love and respect these women and these people. But I realized, like, my favorite YouTube channels, their makeup and their routines, they were focusing a lot less on makeup, like Taylor Wynn, which I don't mind because I love Taylor Wynn. I'll watch pretty much anything she puts out. But I originally followed her because of her foundation reviews. And I was so lucky that back in the day, like a few years ago, whatever foundation that she liked and gave a good review ended up working out really well on my skin. And I absolutely adored her reviews, how thorough she was. I loved her work ethic and everything. This concealer's looking a little bit dry under my eyes, so I'm kind of worried about setting it. But I think I need to set it because of the dramatic eye look and what I'm going to do in the lower lash line, so I'll try to go in. Maybe I won't bake. We'll see. So I still watch every one of Taylor's videos, but she focuses a lot less on makeup. And I have to say, I was so sad when I realized recently that, like, almost every single, where's my poof? That, like, almost every single product she's been reviewing lately that I've tried out, the ones that she, like, I realized, like, all of her foundations and concealers that she was giving rave reviews for sucked on me. And it's nothing to do with her, nothing to do with me. It was just, like, I realized that the biggest YouTuber I would go to for product reviews, we now had very differing skin types, very differing skin tones, and very differing opinions on new products. Like, I think it was the Lady Gaga foundation. She adores that foundation. It's like one of her new holy grails now, and that was terrible on me. That foundation looked like trash. It was, like, absolutely garbage on me. And that was just kind of the impetus or the spring point where I realized, oh yeah, none of her makeup, like, recommendations recently have worked for me. And I'm gonna say this, it's very selfish, but I was sad because I realized I didn't have, like, a go-to person now for those kind of reviews. So I kind of have to go back to me being the person to review things and kind of figure out what's going to work best for me because I didn't really have her to lean on anymore. And I've realized I've kind of gone through that with quite a few YouTubers over the years. I mean, I follow my friends, but as far as, like, the bigger YouTubers who I used to rely on for, like, reviews or the new product purchases, I really had no one else. And I want to stay away from the ones that are just drama-filled. So that left me kind of bereft as far as beauty content went. And again, here I'm open for recommendations. If you guys have anyone who is around my skin tone and does, like, dramatic looks, that's the other part of it. So Taylor Wynn, I want to say, like, Emily Noel, they are very dedicated to their channels and their craft. in the nicest way possible. How am I going to say this? Now, whenever they try new makeup or they do new products or they test out new things, all of their makeup looks look the same still. Like, they're not doing anything like this. Like, it's bright, it's green, it's different. It's kind of like the same berry-ish neutral eye, different lipstick color. Maybe a blush. And it was very uninspiring to me. And I felt bad because, like, those are, like, kind of my go-to channels again. And I was completely bored of just, like, of the makeup. And, you know, to an extent, I could tell they probably were too. Emily Noel, I think she still loves makeup, but I think she's got a very small comfort zone when it comes to makeup. It doesn't really go outside of it that much. Taylor Wynn, I feel like she used to test more makeup, but she definitely was more on the base side. And now that she is a lot more comfortable in her skin, she's not testing out those kind of foundations or those products anymore. But she's never been one to be adventurous when it came to eyeshadow or, you know, any other looks. And that's what I love the most about makeup. And it was just sad to kind of realize that all at once. So for under my eyes, I just used the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. And then to set, I think I'm just going to set right here so I can go in with like bronzer, contour, blush and stuff. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation and then the AOA Studio Perfect Pressed Finishing Powder. And these are both like almost done. I repressed them just so I could hurry up and like pan them completely. So what's a girl to do, right? Like I had these kind of go-to comfort channels. I'm realizing, you know, none of their products work for me. None of the recommendations are really hitting. And I was just bored. I sat there because I love to watch YouTube while I'm doing my makeup stuff. Like I'm sitting here, I'm doing my makeup, I'm watching these videos and I'm like, this is boring. I'm not getting what I used to get out of these videos. So I think the first step is acknowledging that and saying, hey, I am bored of my content feed, but I want to expand my content feed. And to be honest, I kind of want to focus on YouTube because YouTube's the only social media right now that I still like. I am this close to deleting Instagram, and I'm only keeping it really because I have most of my friends and family on there, and I need it for Influencer. Like, literally, those are the only reasons that I'm keeping it. Because I definitely am not going back to Facebook. Hate Facebook, but I just, I don't know. So if you have, again, any recommendations, YouTubers who do, like, more dramatic, fun makeup, and not to say that it can't be fun to sometimes do, like, the no makeup kind of thing, but that's not why I got into makeup. That's not why I find makeup fun and fulfilling. I like being creative. I don't know. Does anyone else feel like this? Or am I just kind of launching into the void? So I just clicked the wrong button and lost the audio recording for the entire first half of this video. All right, we're pushing through. Why? Because I don't want to refilm that. For bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Filmstar Bronze and Glow. I did repress the shades in here. I did have pretty big pan in both of these shades, but I want to finish this because I'm petty. So I'm just using up, I honestly really don't like the highlighter. It's not a great highlighter, but the bronzer, pretty okay. So anyway, like I was saying, Uninspired, I kind of felt, I don't know, a certain type of way when, like, the videos I would watch of, like, people testing out new makeup, and they would do all these things, and it would look like the same look they've done all the time. And that's the petty in me, is that part. Honestly, that's kind of a reason why I unsubscribed from Emily Noel for a while. I resubscribed recently because she's come out with some videos that I really enjoy. But for a long time, she was doing like the exact same look, but with different products. And I was just so bored. Even though like she has been around forever and she is so knowledgeable and I love the way that she talks, she explains, she tests out products. I needed more variety in the looks, you know? Do you guys get it? So that's where I'm at. I think acknowledging the problem's the first step. Next, I really need to diversify my YouTube following, so if you guys have any YouTube channel recommendations, I'm just looking for people that post semi-regularly and do, like, unique looks, you know? Because that's the problem I get into. Either they never post, or the YouTube channel no longer posts anymore, or they post only about makeup every now and then, or they're only on other social medias. So if you guys have any recommendations, please let me know. And I think it's also a big part of the reason why I've switched. I've been watching a lot more lifestyle content, a lot more vlogs, a lot more moving vlogs, lifestyle vlogs, even like, I've gotten into homesteading vlogs because I'm fantasizing about when we're actually going to be able to afford a house, which may never happen because we're millennials and we live in New Jersey, which is one of the most expensive states ever. But, a girl can dream, right? So next for blush, I've got these new blushes I picked up from The Balm. I got some of their In-Stain blushes, and I've heard nothing but great things. So I'm thinking with the green eye look, I got like this mauvey kind of color, and this one. I also have this House Labs blush. Let's go with the mauve. Yeah. Go with the big fluffy blush brush. So it's not as pigmented as I was expecting, but you can build it up really nicely. And I love that tone. That's so pretty. Should I do some on the nose? Let's do a little bit on the nose. Why not? Alright, next for highlighter, I got this AOA Studio Paw Paw Glow Within highlighter. And for the nose, I like using this fan brush from... Ooh, did I take up some of my foundation right there? I did a little bit. Oops. Let's blend that away. You can't say it. This is from Real Techniques, I think. Yeah, it's a Real Techniques brush. Love it for Cupid's bow and nose. And then I'm still on the hunt for a good highlighter brush. I actually did track down. There was one person on Poshmark selling the Milani highlighter brush, new in the box. I bought it. I have not heard back from the seller yet. So I'm hoping the brush exists and can be sold to me. But until then, I've got this Pro Highlight from the Sephora collection. And it's the best I've found so far, but it's not my favorite. Like, it works, it doesn't lift up foundation or anything, but it's not as fluffy as the ABH one. So, we shall see. Alright, so let me hop off camera. I'm just going to do my lower lash line on the shadow, soak this in setting spray, and we'll be back for the final look. Okay, we are back. Lower lash line is done. Setting spray is on. I am loving the look. It's a little dramatic, quite cute. I do like it. For lips, I wanted to finish this off with my Franken lip product. I recently went back in and mixed in a little bit more of the Vaseline that I had. And this is actually the Vaseline that I used. It's just the Vaseline Lip Therapy in Pink Bubbly. So on its own, it's just like a slightly pink tinted. It doesn't really show up as pink on your lips. It's kind of see-through. And I mixed that with a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick to make this product. And I loved it when I first Frankened it. The second Franken I did, I had too much lipstick to Vaseline and I didn't have room in the compact to kind of fix it until now. So I mixed in a little bit more Vaseline. I'm hoping now the shade will be closer to the nude that it once was. So let's see. Yeah, you see, so I have it on the bottom. You can't super tell, so it is more nudie. Yay! I'm happy with that. Looks so much better. And this is the final look. I had fun. I was thinking, a black lipstick might look nice, but I have to film like 2 more videos after this, so I'll save the black lipstick for like the last video that I film, but I think that would really just tie everything together. So thank you guys for listening to this rather ranty bochinche chat. Let me know down below your recommendations for YouTubers that are still doing, I don't know if you want to call this like old 2016 kind of makeup, but it's kind of makeup that I find inspiring. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know down below, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.